Hey guys, this is the professor with Day Trading for Success. Every morning you can see me trading live for free. So I hope I see you tuning in. Today on this video, we're going to show what happened on that stream, but also about the challenge that we're doing and a little bit about the setup and the tools that I use. So if you already know all that stuff, you should use the timestamp and go right forward. But I hope you stick around because there's always some new information. So we have a pretty good group that trades with us. So I'm a professional trader, and I kind of do what they call quarterbacking, which is a quarterback for other traders, but everybody is responsible for their own trades because I am not a licensed financial advisor. So there's disclaimers all over this video. You need to be responsible for your own trades. You need to be responsible is what you need to be. Just be careful. Trade in a simulator first. This is a certain type of trading that we do here that I've been teaching. It's scalping, and we're in the middle of a challenge for this month. Last month we had a challenge where we were just trying to make $100 a day. And I would trade for about a half hour to 45 minutes, fairly low share size, and I would scalp along trying to get to that number. If I didn't make it, then I might scalp a little bit and then give you an update later after the stream ended. But for most mornings, I made it. And then this month, we raised it to, for August, we raised it to $150 to $500 a day. Now, I report all of that stuff. Charles Schwab has a way that you kind of can report exactly what you have. There's no shenanigans. And I use TraderView to see how we're doing this month. So, our goal was between 150 to 500 a day using the scalping techniques that I'm showing every single morning. So our worst day was yesterday, and today I had said I didn't even want to trade, but we went ahead and did some trades, and I'm going to show you the various footage of all that if you didn't see it live. So what you can expect on this video here is we're going to go over the strategy a little bit. So if you come in on Monday morning, you know at least know what to expect and maybe how to set up your layout, right? And then we're going to go into the tools I use as well, which you may or may not want to use. It's up to you. Obviously, I believe in the tools that I use. That's why I use them. But you might want to do something else. I always really emphasize that everybody needs to come up with their own trading style. But we're doing pretty good everybody's doing pretty good, getting some great feedback. As with everything, the people always struggle. There is no sure thing. Now, this layout may confuse you if you're not used to it. I can go over what it is briefly. This is a 1-minute chart right here. This is the news that I like to read. Down here is a daily chart. That's the tickers going across on my the professor's scalping layout here. This is the active trader. This is the level 2. This is a 15-minute chart. This is a 5-minute chart. And then I have reduced down here another 5-minute for a specific reason, which we'll get into, a 30-minute, a 1-hour, and a 4-hour. So I can quickly open up and set up what I need to set up. So they're not used when I'm trading. And I do have 6 screens around me, so really I could take this stuff and move it all around and just have one big screen. But I like to have it because I'm kind of, you can draw sort of an egg shape. I'm kind of looking like right here, and then I'll glance over at some of these indicators and glance down to read the news. And occasionally I'll open up the day chart, which has specific indicators. So why don't we start with that right here? So this has the ATR high and low, halfway of the ATR, half value, and then the whole value, high and low. The reason it has the half value is it's based on a strategy that came out in 2022 in the book Day Trading Volume 1, which kind of changed the way that most professional traders trade because it is the only book that has a large cap strategy in it. And most people would look at scalping and they wouldn't scalp large cap, but there's a lot of people in retirement or just well off that already have their money invested in mutual funds or whatever it might be, and then they want to trade and augment that income a little bit by making $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month. So how they do that is they day trade, and if you have $25,000 in an account, you can take as many trades as you want a day, and you get margin, and you get 4 times the value of that margin. So with $25,000 in an account, you can trade up to 100,000, which allows you to take pretty large share size on big stocks like, Tesla or Microsoft or, Meta, or certainly on Nvidia and AMD and Hood and Apple. And these are large cap, mega cap stocks. And I'll show you about a scanner, how you can find these too. But anyway, that strategy came out and it showed people how to trade in a zone, like a range. And I'll have a link to the book. I mean, every trader should have it on their desk. Most traders do. But it shows you how to trade in a range. Besides just telling you everything about trading, it gets right at half the book is a strategy that really so many traders are using. My throat's been dry from quarterbacking. Hang on. This has the high level. So if you don't understand what an ATR is, it's the average true range of a stock on any given day. It's usually averaged over a 14-day period. And if you look down right here, you can see. Now we're on Charles Schwab stock, so it doesn't have a very big ATR. It's $1.80. See it right there when I go over a candle. So it's not much, right? But some of the stocks like Tesla can be $22. And you're looking for it to move within a range, high and low. You have the overall range, if you thought it would only go in one direction, like, hey, that might go $22 up, or $1.80 in this case. So I'm going to look at that level as a resistance level. It probably won't break its range, right? That's average, right? It's going to be average, or it might go down that entire range, right? In reality, what happens is, unless it's trending and going a direction to break it, in reality is it goes more like half one way and half the other way. And that's where the RV strategy comes in so handy, because it computes the half range. Now you can do that yourself, and I have tons of videos that tell you how to do the mathematical process. It only takes a couple of minutes to figure it out and draw it on your chart. Or you can just get an indicator, which not only gives you levels, but it's just so handy. And I'll put a link to that indicator. That's a custom indicator. I am a coder for ThinkScript, so you're going to want to get into that. But anyway, let me start the intro, guys, because there's a lot of exciting stuff here, and I'll be right back.
Welcome to Day Trading for Success, where the professor, a former math teacher turned full-time trader and coder, guides beginners on how to trade for a living using proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor isn't a licensed financial advisor. Always consult a pro before diving into any strategies or demos you see here. Start smart, practice in a simulator, stick to a solid day trading plan, and don't forget to log every trade. Your profits will start with preparation. Thank you for allowing us to share in your journey. Please remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can be the first to receive more of our great content.
Hey, so welcome back. We're back to right where we left off. Now, this one down here is I use myself. You don't have to use it, but I make sure I'm not going beyond the capital I have so that I get charged interest on margin if I hold it more than a day, because they charge 12%, interest at Charles Schwab right now, as of now. So, you're going to want to be careful if you do. You can do the math in your head. I just like to have it set up when I'm in position. Then this one, you're going to want to go over, because this I coded specifically to give away for free, but I don't have the apparatus to give it away for free. So I gave it to the $1 Million Margin Club, and they have said they will make this available for free until I say don't. So we're going to go into what this is, but you should go anything free. You should just go get it, whether you understand it yet or not. It's going to be up for a while, but let me go into that before I forget. This is a custom coded scanner, right? Now, if you know coding, you could certainly do this yourself. But what this does is it finds the liquidity in these large cap stocks. So what I have this coded to do is on a 1-minute chart, just a 1-minute candlestick, it has to move a minimum of 100,000 volume, or I'm just not interested in trading it. And the same on a 10-day. It's giving you the average over a 10-day, 100,000 per 1-minute candle. The other thing I coded in here was how close you are from breaking the high of the day, because you might want to know that if it's going to be a breakout. So these things are pretty handy, and you might want to detach them and have it set up so you can watch it. And this is how I do the coding in here. I also do a code for the ATR. Average true range needed to be $2 and above. And I did another one of these, and I have it detached from a watch list that's on 50,000. This one's set for 50,000. So you're going to get a different range of stocks. It won't move quite as fast because I'll show you when I trade how I like to move. And if you watch the live streams, it's interesting. So this will be a pretty long video, guys, but you can just go right up to the trading if you want. But I would watch this if I was you, but that's up to you. So let's go back to the chart. So that's the day chart that's down here that's minimized, right? And then I usually trade on a 1 minute chart. And we're going to break into the strategy in just a second. But I want to point out I'm an indicator-driven trader, and I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to know the information that it can be given to you on indicators. A lot of people say, you'll see commercials out there, you're tired of trusting indicators and all this, and they're selling a product. Usually, whatever they do to make their nut, I don't begrudge them. The reality is that prop firms use indicators. The reality is that pro traders use indicators. I mean, what else do you have? I'm just breaking it down for you, right? You have historical data, which can be historical as of 1 minute ago, 1 second ago, really, or 5 years ago. It's historical data. How has this price action moved? And how do we determine price action? We determine it by looking on a chart, right? So, that's historical data, and you would look at a chart to see where's their support and resistance. Why did the price stop at this level and abruptly turned around? And do we want to make a note of that? Yeah, we probably do if it's anywhere near where we're trading now. Like if you're scalping short term on a 1 minute, 5 minute chart, even a 15-minute chart, you want to mark out the levels that are anywhere near you where the price might have stopped and gone the other direction. Why in the world wouldn't you want to do that, right? So that's sort of the longer term way to do a short term fast scalping, is to look at historical data. And then the faster way to do it is to actually read price action. Now you can do that on level 2, and you want to do both. You want to combine these two things. You want to have the historical data as your backup, and then you want to read price action. So you can get really good at reading level 2. You multiply these share size by 100 here, right? And you see how these are coming up and what might be stopping this from moving up. This has just got 1 penny between the ask and the bid. That's called the spread. So as these share size come up and you see large numbers here, right? But you don't see the price move. And it's not on right now, but I designed a level 2 indicator that helps people that aren't used to reading it. It actually is reading level 1 because you can't really design something that reads level 2. But what it's doing by reading level 1 is when the share size is stopping, like you see large numbers here, but yet you see the volume of a candle. Let's zoom in here a bit. I don't want to confuse you with some of these indicators yet, but like say you saw that volume going up really, really fast and the price wasn't moving. What's happening at that point is that, you're seeing this ask and bid go, and it might be moving a penny, but yet it's just really, see what that was right there? That told you that the volume on this candle is larger than the volume on the previous candle. Then it just changed to a new candle, but that's part of this amazing Scalp Pro meter, but we'll get into that in a minute. This is a professional indicator here that just you definitely need to have it. You probably have it, but if you don't, you should get it. But anyway, what's happening is when it's doing that, right, is it's winding up, right? It's about to pop because you'll see, if you watch the level 2, you'll see, say it said, 500 here. You start to see it go down 400, 300, 250, 200, 150, but yet the price hasn't moved. And the second it gets down to them all being bought up, then boom, the price moves all at once. So, I coded an indicator that for it's like it was commissioned by a prop firm, and it's like to train traders to see that process. It'll light up and it will say, and it label will say absorption, like the shares are being absorbed. Like, look what's happening on your level 2. Get ready for the breakout. And it even gives you a bias as to which way it's going to break out, being on which side the ask or the bid is being absorbed. So it literally tells the traders trading momentum fast stocks, even by reading level 1, what's about to happen on level 2, because it stalls at the level 1. The level 1 is the first line, right? Then every line after that's level 2. So I don't want to over confuse you. That indicator is not even being shown here. But I wanted to point out to you how you read price action. So if you aren't really good at reading that, that's good to read. But there's other ways to figure out when a stock's about to break out. Here's one of them. Right now, I purposely put on a very slow stock to have this conversation, right? So this is the Scalp Pro meter, and this is a 1-minute volume. These are all, the blue column is showing you a 1-minute volume here, right? And this 1-minute volume is showing you the buyers and the sellers within it. And it's showing you the percentage of them, and it even gives you a little meter to look at right now that everyone's selling. So if you were watching the candlestick action up here, you could see that it's a time to sell, to go short. See how the candle's going down? Now these arrows are other indicators that I'll talk about in a minute. Now there's a lot of videos that show individually about these and go into more depth. Some of the other things that it does here, it shows the volume from the last candle, and if it's about to beat it, you have 11 seconds to beat it. Is it going to beat it? Probably not. Yeah, it is. So this is about to there it pops off, meaning there's more momentum going down on the sellers. So you'd want to continue the move. Then you had another indicator telling you maybe you don't want to do that. We'll talk about that in a minute. So that is an indicator. This is an indicator showing you what is happening right now in the most detailed possible way inside of a candle. You have to ask yourself, why would you not want that data if you're taking short-term moves? The idea about scalping is you're looking for a stock to move 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. You get in when it's about to move that 5 cents or 10 cents, and you get out when it goes your direction. You have 100 shares, you've made $5 or $10. You do 50 trades, you made some pretty good money by the end of the day. You're trying to make a living, like Day Trading for Success shows, like its whole theme is $100 a day, $500 a day. That adds up to big money at the end of the month, enough to make a huge difference in your life, enough to make a difference. You start off small, you start out in a sim, but knowing price action data is so important to know as it's happening. So the only thing you're going to get is what just happened. You're not going to get anything that tells you to reads the actual future. It will go this way. It might go this way. It might. So the only thing that tells you it will go this way is you, by getting enough data, by watching the data enough times going, probability is, read Trading in the Zone. I have a link to it. It's a Mark Douglas book that I love, but the probability is that it will go this way. But count on like 20 trades going against you. Learn, take your time, and then eventually you can see how this told you volume beat it as it went up, as the scalping said 100%. Is that just a no-brainer to jump on that move? By the way, that is the ATR. I just showed you the ATR in the daily chart. That is the ATR half level, a serious resistance. See how it keeps banging its head and turning around? So as you took that move and it went up, how many pennies it was, and it's very, very small on this stock, it said, get ready to get out because you're hitting a wall. You're a bug about to hit a windshield. Be careful. You might not have enough power to break that level, right? In this case, it might just toy with it and then reject. So probability is it's going to reject. But what this pattern is a flat top. It's making a flat top. So you might get a flat top breakout depending on what's happening here, 88% as it hit it. So either you're completely spread out and flattened as you hit it harder, or it breaks out. So it kind of broke out and then it pulled back. So, that's where I would have taken my profit, and then I would have waited for it to readjust. That's just a little bit of analysis. Then up here, you have another one that's amazing. This is the risk oscillator, really using these two together. This is the engine that tells you when to get in a trade, like just a no-brainer. It's almost like you need nothing else for short-term trades other than a strategy, like here's historical data, because that historical data, ATR, is an historical data, an average of where it's the halfway average, right? But other than that data, now you want to know, well, what's my target to get out of that? So what this does is it averages the last 9 candles, guys. And then it gives you the target. Again, we're on a really slow stock. I'm going to flip to a busy stock here in a minute, but I just want you to understand. So once you get into a position, right, then this is going to, let's go ahead and just get in. So I'll get into a position here, right? Let's see where we're at here. So the spread's only a penny, right? So let me just try to get into a winning position. I don't have any other data up. So typically I like other data. So I'd kind of like a little pullback here. But let's just go ahead and get into a position here. Yeah, it won't pick me up. I'm down here. Thickly traded. Multiply this by 100. See if it picks me up here. It's kind of going down. I should have just done market. It would have been quicker. Let me just buy market here. I'm going to buy market there. All right, so I'm in a position. Now this should light up and tell me how many pennies I'm up or down, right? So right now I'm 21 cents up. I think we're so tight that it's not even telling me how many pennies because I'm right at the thing. But typically this will say, and my target's only 3 cents. There it is. My target's only 3 cents. So I sell now. And I made 46 cents. Woohoo, I can retire. And aren't I glad I sold right then? Because it just rejected. And the way it rejected is another indicator, which I'll talk about in a minute, that you're going to want to believe, okay? It's right there telling you it's going up. It's right here. It's telling you it's going to go down. It's right here telling you it's going to go down. That is called the MACD. That is based on EMA crossovers over a period of time. It's convergence, divergence. And boy, did it go down. I mean, for this stock, that went down, right? Read the news at that point. Is there something going on? I mean, look, I'm not a big Charles Schwab trader here, but I mean, they are on the exchange now to trade. So, but I was trying to point out the target, that's your range to make a profit, right? So this becomes in pretty handy, and that tells you how much money you're making. That tells you how many pennies you are on the way to the range. So rather than looking over here, which I have, I've set this platform up with the active trader to be in a way that I'd like to, it's easy for me to read. I've taken away the exchange here because it will actually give my account number because I'm being routed through alternative routing like a dark pool through Charles Schwab is like its own dark pool. You can see this is Charles Schwab here. And you can do that too. I trade large share size a lot, and if I go market, I'm guaranteed to get filled, but there will be some slippage. I don't want to go too deep here, but so that's what that indicator is. These other arrows, I want to blow your mind here because if you're new, you're not going to understand. You don't need all this stuff, guys. These are ones you can just load in right on Charles Schwab. Your EMA moving averages, which smooth over a period of time. They'll smooth it, meaning they kind of average the move in a prediction for the nine candles back. 14 candles back, 20 candles back, right? That's the gray is 9, the 14 is this pinkish chartreuse, and then the green is the 20. And then this is day, the SMA, like these don't smooth anything, and they're set for day. And I have them on my chart. When one of those crosses my 1 minute chart, I pay attention to that line because that means that people that are doing the big day moves may have gotten to their area to jump in and jump out or crossovers. I mean, there's a lot of, the golden cross, where the 50 and the 200 cross that people just take trades all the time. Read strategy books, guys, because it's important the more data you know. And then there's the volume weighted average price, which at any given time is the value of the stock. That's that red line. A lot of 5-minute traders, 5-minute chart, 10-minute, 15-minute charts will use that level as a resistance or a support or just to go in for the first time. On a 1-minute chart, it's not really telling you the value of the stock. I mean, it's the same price, right? But you don't look at it as the value of the stock, right? And then there's that ATR multiple range. This is custom. Then we have the buy-sell oscillator, which I'll tell you about in a minute. The MACD, EMA, the buy-sell oscillator is based on the RSI, Relative Strength Index. the MACD, convergence divergence based on EMA crossovers. I don't have the alerts on because when I live stream, it gets too complicated for people that are trading. The market mag, and another phenomenal indicator that I'll tell you about here. And then the risk oscillator we just talked about. The momentum directional indicator, which I just recently added because I've been trading the open more. Multi-time alignment, unbelievable, and then the whole and half dollar, which automatically marks out every whole and half dollar line for you. Because why do you want to know that? You want to trade with the crowd. A lot of people make their decisions on a whole dollar or a half dollar. So knowing that is important. And since we're on that idea, the other thing that they do is they trade with specific time frames. So a lot of people only trade 5-minute or 15-minute or 30-minute or 1 hour, 4-hour candles, right? So this multi-chart alignment shows you what their candlestick color is. What do they see at any given time? When you're over here micro trading, are a bunch of people, and here's the crossover, like this is about to cross. All the people on the hour and every time frame shorter than that are about to make a decision. The 30-minute, the 15-minute, and the 5-minute. Is that going to be green when it crosses over? Because if it is, it's highly likely everybody's going to jump in and go green. And that could be profit taking. But as you can see, they're in preparation for it. It's already telling you. The more stuff you know like this, the more indicators that help you like this, no matter what you're hearing elsewhere, just look for yourself. You can literally see it unfolding. You can see the future about to happen. There's no guarantee, but the more data you have, the more likely that this is going to happen for you. So just trade in a simulator and try it out for 30 days, and then you can see it just did. That was an anomaly that just happened there. I don't know if you're watching that, but a lot of times high frequency algorithms will throw off, and you can see that happening. The Scalp Pro went to all red. You saw this to all red at the exact same time, which is not really accurate, but it's letting you know there's some shenanigans going on, some market manipulation going on, especially with something that's this, high of a market cap. Now, the white arrows are the MACD. You will see that 80 to 85% of the time, the direction that tells you to go, the stock's about to go. So that is a very, very helpful indicator. And then you will see the buy-sell oscillator is right 60 to 70% of the time. Here's an example where it wasn't really right. You don't know when that popped up in the middle of this, but, and then here it is again. It did go down here. But I usually use that to get out of a trade, not to get in. I use the MACD to get into a trade. That's how I've developed that. This light blue arrow is part of this risk oscillator, which has its own EMA crossovers telling you it's about to go up. You have two different sources here. And then this is the momentum one. It can get confusing, and they can fight each other. But the MACD, trust the MACD, because, again, make your own decisions. I mean, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm just telling you, this is what prop firm people use so they don't have to have 30 screens open and looking at all this data. It literally, alarm goes off when this says, hey, we're about to go up. MACD says go up. Jump in, 500 shares, boom. You just made a couple $100 in a split second. Jump out. Use this to get out. You get used to it, right? You get used to the concept of it, right? How close are we to? We still have an hour till market closes. Another one here is the market pulse. This one's set to give you the Q, the SPY, the TLT, which is the bonds, and the fear index UVXY. So looking at the bigger picture, and this will, whatever chart you put this on, it tells you what it's saying for that chart. This is a 5-minute. This is a 15-minute. So is it overall still a 15-minute? Some people have it on an hour and a 4-hour. What is the overall movement of the market? Well, since the announcement this morning, it's up. No question about it. So everywhere you go, it will show it being up. So another thing down here is the ADX trend, which is amazingly helpful, showing you the trends, and we're obviously trending up. and it's very helpful. So now let's get into something different. I'm going to get into the strategy. So that I think I covered most of the indicators that I use that I think are important for you, but you have to decide. Oh, I didn't touch the market magnet. I'm sorry. God, I almost missed this. This is hugely important. So this is a specially designed indicator to trade large and mega cap stocks. These arrows show you the 50% range of what the expected movement is for this stock. This chartreuse line is where the majority of the price volume has happened at that price. When you see these blue lines coming across, this is price action that has just recently happened. And typically when they come across, it pulls the magnet up to where they are, which is like a trampoline, a jumping point for the stock to go up. When you see these lines come across and the magnet doesn't pull up, we'll lose confidence in the upward movement of it. Or if you see them come across below it, and it will pull the magnet down. Now you're coming to the top of its range. So when this pulls up, you kind of want to see the range go up with it. You look at everything else, it's saying that the price action is still going up. We're coming to this changeover on the 5-minute, which is the multi-chart alignment, meaning people are going to want to go long at the same time. So you're getting a lot of data. The target is higher long than short. Look how many candles are long. Doesn't mean we won't get a retracement, but the data is telling you right now when we cross this 5-minute, now there's price action coming in here, but the magnet just pulled up. So when we cross this 5-minute in 20 seconds, if this is green still, likely you're going to get a bounce. Probability, not for sure. I look at this and say, well, it didn't meet the top. The buyers didn't meet the top of the volume. So there is some resistance in here. And right now, before it closes, the sellers are at the top. So there's you got to start to read the messages and maybe wait a sec before you take that trade, because everything was lined up. Now the first 5-minute turns red because it's below that level. I know that's a lot of data, guys. That's a lot of information, but it had conflicting, so it would have held me from taking that trade as I watched this. And now it's like saying it's short. But the likelihood is this is going to be a short retracement and it's going to keep going up. That's the likelihood from looking at this data, but you never know. But anyway, let's go to another stock. Now, all I have to do up here is click on my watch list, and I have it up above. I have 6 screens around me, and we can go to another stock. So let's go to something like, let's go to something that's got a better, let's go to Hood. So Hood, I traded Hood earlier today. It's a big mess here, right? So let's open up this 5-minute chart, and we're going to show you how you mark out historical data. So every morning you can do this on your own. And then we're going to break into the video. You can break into the trading. If you're here still, that means you wanted to see what this was. So this is a 10-day 5-minute chart. So I'm looking for the high-low here. So I'm going to mark the Fibonacci level. Now, I'm marking the Fibonacci for support and resistance based on the RV strategy, which I talked about earlier, which is the large cap strategy, and it goes into a lot of detail. I mark it out that way even though I'm scalping every morning. I want this historical data. Fibonacci is about as historical as you can get, okay? So we're going to click on it here and mark the retracement. So you always go left to right, and I'm going to mark, in this case, it's high to low. So I'm scanning over here to find the low. You have to go through this little arduous process here. Let me get it over here to the low. Give me a second. We need music. So that's at 99 even. There it is. So that's our first historical data. We're trying to create channels. See how it traded within that data there? That where it was marked. See how it did there? That's not where I marked the levels, but the fib picked this up, right? The next thing that the strategy says to do, which was developed by a whole bunch of professional traders that were trying to create a strategy that was safe for beginners, believe it or not, even though it looks like rocket science to set it up. It is near the end of day, so this is the same level here. I didn't quite get that. Oops, I'm on the retracement. Am I on retracement here? Am I on? No, Yeah, I am. Okay. It just didn't look like I was on retracement. Okay, so now we got to scan over here and find the high. And this is going to be on a 2-day 5-minute. So here's our high. Now we're going to create more support and resistance levels based on this data. I went to today. Typically, this is marked not marked on the same day you're trading. Okay, you're marking it prior to the market opening. So now what you're seeing, Phil, here, every half and whole dollar on a reduced chart. So it looks like a big mess until you open it up, and then nothing's in your way. And there's your ATR that's already marked on that day chart. Look how that was respected. So what you're doing is you're using these fib levels to trade throughout the day, right? So here's your big, huge Scout Market Pro, and there's your market magnet. We're below it. Things are really slow right now. And here's your first channel. Huge channel here. This channel is it's $2.50, roughly. So you really want more data. You don't want a $2.50 channel, because the book explains, like, you want to be able to traverse the entire channel. So if you're trading 100 shares, that means if it's $2.50, it could go down $250 before it says to take your move, if to get out of the trade. So you want to try to make like 25-cent channels, or you want to really lower your share size, right? So what we're doing here is we're going to look for historical data. So historical data is where the price action has come up. Fibonacci levels are historical data, and basically you want to make the Fibonacci 2, we make that a different color so we understand what's more current data. So I'm going to make that pink. Now I do this every morning with every stock that's picked up on the custom scanner that does at least 100,000 volume in 1 minute. So it's giving us something to, and I'll talk about that on level 2, just before I forget. So what that means is over here is this is swaling in a way where I'm seeing 10 to 15 cent moves. So when I get into a trade, and I mean 10 to 15 cent moves in just a couple of seconds, 2, 3, 5 seconds, so that I have an opportunity to get in and out at these levels. You can see everything's slowed down right now. But I mean, so I have, the volume is usually like well over 100,000, usually like 200,000 or 300,000. So this is barely moving now. That's when you definitely want to go an alternative trading system. You could still trade 1,000 shares because they pick it up. You don't have to worry about it not being picked up. But anyway, that's another video. So you want to mark historical data where price action might come into play. Now, when we started the morning, we would have definitely marked that level, right? And it looks like it did come down and tap it and respect it. We would have marked that level, and it looks like it did the same thing. We'll look on a 1-minute chart and see. And then you might have wanted to mark this too and see if it's more. Now, I don't like to mark the pre-market ones as much, or the aftermarket ones. Here's one, though, that I would probably have marked more recent, assuming it would have come up this high, and I probably would have marked this in case it went down that low. I'm just giving you an example. These might be respected, guys, might be. There is no reason not to have those levels to help you decide with all the other data, should I go in or should I go out of this trade? There's no reason to not have them. Let's take a look at the 1-minute chart. Now, you will get people that say, oh, you don't know how to trade if you mark those that's stupid. Well, 2 things to say about that. They must really know how to trade, and they're not very nice by not supporting you in learning how to trade, or they have no idea how to trade, and they're acting like they do. But, everybody moves at their own speed. Some people can pick out the historical data without the levels. That is true. They can, and they don't need to do it. But to me, I would rather see them. They don't get in my way because I'm zooming in like this, guys. I'm trading like this. What's a couple of lines? They're not bothering me. I'm trading like this. I like to see. You hear me do it all the time. It's like I turn around at the ATR and go the other way. So that would be a stopping point. If it broke it, right, then this would be my fail safe. I'd be like, okay, it's going against you. Get ready to get out of this position because it's hit another historical data and it may have really broken this level. Or as it comes back down, you'll see the way I trade, I only go into 25% of my position. And then it's going back my way. If it breaks that, that's when I would probably go to half my position. And then I would raise my price point where I was going short way up here. And then I'd break into a profit here somewhere and make a really nice trade. Risky way to trade if you don't follow your max loss day trading plans. But as you can see, this historical data came into play. I don't know where the other levels are. Down here earlier on in the day, I think that level came into play, right? Because we were looking at it earlier on. We're getting closer to those levels now as we go. Look at that other fib hit, huh? Wow. Did we pass those levels already? No. But that fib sure did come into play, right? I don't know where I am right now. But anyway, the point is that these historical data can really, really help you. And then you go to the indicators, and then you go to price action, and then you trade. So check it out. I'm going to go into how I ended the day in the first clip. And then after that, we'll go into the beginning of the day. Because I do trade in a studio with a lot of traders, and I have different trading sessions. So and there's traders that trade on this floor with me. There's traders that trade on the floor below. And then I do what they call quarterbacking, which I will call trades for other people. I mean, people take their own trades, of course, as well. So they take their own trades anyway. Let me make clear about that. But anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. Thanks for watching. Watch the next clip as we go on through the video. And I hope I see you on Monday morning or any morning. Come over. It's free. You can just watch, see what you think. All right, guys, go green out there.
Look at the survey of professional forecasters for the next 2 quarters. They expect
Charlie, I'm looking for 336 to buy a dip.
So I think it was a fairly
so we can get this green at least on our day. So I'm going to wait it out for a dip.
With the language he picked. So I think it does reflect the challenges that the Fed has right now, that while it is slightly restrictive in terms of its stance, there's still inflation that could be in the 3s over the next 6 months, and yet the labor market is definitely a little bit slower than it was a while ago, and he has to be concerned that he doesn't want to have the unemployment rate go up too quickly.
It's definitely long bias still, even though we're near its high for a while, you know.
So I think his speech was actually pretty balanced, but I think what he said is the balance of risks certainly make it.
There's the 50-cent break, but let's wait for a bigger drawdown. 48, 41, 36. It's not going to hold. It's going to go back up. I'm going to grab it there. I got it at 37. I'll take a small move there, and then we'll reassess.
He had a line in there about the Fed mission remaining intact.
See, it didn't look like it was going to just shoot straight up, so I just took a small move. Oh well. There it goes. 47 again was its low on the bid.
Well, he basically didn't discuss it.
Sellers are strong here, so let's wait it out a little bit.
Spoken a little bit about central bank independence and the role it has.
Man, it is stalling at the 50 cents, even with all that selling.
Under control, but I think he chose, given the political environment, not to use
turn it around.
Language that might be viewed antagonistically.
Is that it? No, it's giving us another shot here. I'm going to get in if I can get it at 48 cents. I tried. Nope, I'm going to get out. It didn't pick me up, so it looked like it was going to go further down, so I got out. Looks like it's going to maybe be in the 30 cents here. Nope, there it goes. Oh my God.
I'll fire her if she doesn't resign. I mean, kind of a sensitive question.
Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black, huh? I fire her if she doesn't resign. Okay. They don't really even have the facts against her yet. You wonder when politicians say stuff like that, if they think that's going to help the market, to make people so unsure about this stuff. It's just. How many do we have on Zoom with us today? That's a full house. I thought we weren't doing the RV strategy. Well, I'm glad I got back then after a quick espresso. And again, I'm going to look for that dip. I'd like to get the dip below the 50 cents. It keeps pounding it like closer to the even dollar, but it just will not break that 50 cent. It's swelling up 15 cents. So if we do get in, we should just take quick profits, in my opinion. MACD's sending it down too. So we were looking for more of a pullback into this consolidation area here. I'd feel safer about that trade. I know some of you have way larger share size, so that's a 37. That's where that's hitting. Oh, wow. So our mark is way off here. Let's get this straightened out. This is at 336. Now we'll have the even and half dollars here, guys, for me to see anyway. Where am I? Am I not at the right? Dear, okay. Yeah, John was pointing out, why don't I just, instead of trying to find this, why don't I just do it down here on the pro meter, and then it'll move the chart right above it. It's like, duh. Wow. So while I was messing around, I missed a good entry down there. I still think it's good. I'm going to go in there if it picks me up at 36. Nope, it didn't. I'm going to get out. I gotta look at the swelling was showing it to go down further, so I pulled out. Could have got it at 30 cents, maybe. Just doesn't seem to pick me up. All right. It still could go down, a little bit there. I'm prepared for that. I'm just trying to get into a move so we can do some kind of action here to break this red off of this one stock anyway. There we go. We got a little bit more. And of course it's going to take off now. Ugh. So here's where it flat topped before. I put a mark there at 30. It's really the even dollar is what we should look at up there at 37. So we know we're long bias. So if we do go short there, you can see that it broke the volume as it went up. I should have waited a second longer watching this data and held that a little longer. I know some of you probably are holding that longer. I think we're up. Our high is like 48, 348. So we're still not near that. So the whole market's going to react positively. I would be long biased on anything I am trading. But it doesn't mean I won't take a short at 337 because I'm thinking about it. Just want to see how strong it hits it. If it goes up there to it. It will. It's just when it goes up there to it. Again, this is when I was buying the dip. So I'm just like, are you going to give me an opportunity down there? It hit right there at the bottom of the magnet at 44 cents. I saw it hit in the low 40s over here on the bid. So it wouldn't have picked me up. It was so fast. It would have been a miracle. But I could start using the ladder, which I know some of you guys are doing, to get those spikes. Even money on the risk oscillator could go either way, which is what we like to see. Tesla's quality score tumbles, while Taiwan semiconductor growth rate soars. Well, see, you just don't want to see news like that come out right in the middle of being long biased, now do you? That was like 4 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago. That could send this straight down. With that in mind, I'm not as worried about going short if it hits the 37 up there. 90. Was it 96, I think, was its high? Could have taken 4 or 5 trades there. I mean, I like this consolidation, but I can't get a bead on exactly what our range is quite yet. We've got a, the whole $0.50 seems to be where the range is with a fail-safe a little lower. Try to get in here just below. Okay, let's see if I got picked up there. 42. For 38, even better. Thought I hit it at the 42. So let's look for a swale up into the 70s, 60s, and 70s where it was just a second ago. It's 59. There it is. Gonna pick me up? Come on. All right. That was just not enough shares to do that, you guys. Come on. I think a lot of people just opted out. That's why we're not seeing that kind of action. That's why the volume's so low here per 1 minute candle. But the overall volume's 31 million, so that ain't hay, as they say. I hesitate to put a level here. That's at the $0.25. This is more of our. This is really our consolidation level, 336 to 337. We have a sort of a dollar channel with the 50 cent maybe being an area to take those, to swale up and down for shorter term trades. So Charlie is trading 100 shares along with me. We kept it from, I was going to 200, but she's still at the 100 shares. Nice. Seems like it's going to go lower. I'm waiting for it to get even lower down there. It hit as low. I think I will mark that just so I know how low it went a minute ago. 25 cents roughly. So anywhere in there would definitely be a buy for me on the bid. $31. There it goes. Did it pick me up? Yeah, it did. Wow. Didn't even make the sound before it showed it up on the... So let's see if we can get a rebound. Let's see if we can get it back up there quite a ways and not just take a smaller one here. Let's see. At least past the 50 cents. Should be $25. $42. 44. I would take that. There we go. So we're almost green on this stock. Took a little while. It broke that level. It didn't break the 36 though, so I'm just going to take a pause and not treat this as a dip quite yet. Just to see if it's going to give us this consolidation back and forth, guys. $4,000, so you are trading 500 shares. That'll do it. I don't know. This could have been. It's turning into a pretty good RV stock. Charlie's buying me a new meditative waterfall because I'm keeping my share size her size. That was my reward. One of those like little, I assume you're not getting something that I can't put anywhere. I like those little waterfalls, the sound they make. Like the water comes around all the sides. I don't mind though. I trade large share size enough where this is fine. Rewarding. I get my fix for trading done. Need my fix in to just gotta trade every day, or at least, if I go more than a day or two. I mean, the weekends kill me because it seems too long. Sometimes when I travel, I don't have a trade station. It's just too much trouble. Okay, we're looking for a dip here, so then I don't trade is my point, and I have, okay. Did it pick me up at 19 cents? Nope. That would have been a nice, there it goes. I was going to say, that's a nice dip. Yeah, it was not thrilling me as I got in there, but it seemed like it might keep going, but it went back up pretty quick there, so I got out fast. So you're pretty green. You want to try to go a little higher? Let's go up to 200 shares and see how we do. Because it's so slow that it's hard to do any money, any kind of money here. So, or for that matter, lose any money. So just keep it tight. If it starts to flush, just get out. All right, confidence is high. You have to be really zeroing in on a tighter channel, the $1.50 here. Just one of the reasons I wanted to add. As we get later, closer toward noon, I mean, things are even getting slower. This used to be 100,000. Now it's 50. So per 1 minute. NVIDIA and continuing to go up. AMD continuing to go up. Hood is right around where we left it off. 111 almost. Wow, Palantir's gone up $7. That is such an overvalued stock. I do not get it. Kind of like Tesla. I mean, this stock should be worth, $125 instead of this one. So, I guess that's all a matter of perspective. That's an assassination kind of words. Me saying that to some people. Shut the professor up. But if you do the fundamental analysis, is what I'm saying, it makes no sense that this is the value of this stock. But boy, just hitting off that $0.25. I'm thinking about getting in, especially if it breaks below it. Could have got it. Darn it. That would have been a nice $50 in a split second. Whoa, there it went. You get me? Tried to actually cancel that order because the way that it moved scared me a little. I just tried to get out at the 25-cent mark where it was stalling the other way. Yeah. So I wish I would have got out. I didn't get out though, because it is starting to flush now. Now that we're on 200 shares. So I'm getting ready to get out, Charlie. So be careful up here, because it broke its level. So let's see if we can, it's coming back. There it comes back. I'm at 17 cents. Yeah, the fact that it broke the 336 is slightly concerning now that we just raised your share size. So let's give it a second. Kind of feel like we're playing with fire here, like I want to get out of this position and reassess. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get out of this because if it doesn't break soon, we need to get out of this position. Swailing down more than up. Yeah, I'm just going to get out, Charlie. I don't like it. So that was unfortunate. Right when we raised the share size, huh? See if it hits that fib. Better to take a small loss there, honestly. I just there it keeps going. Yeah, that because it just broke its pattern. So that was just this news might just now be starting to send it away from here. So I wanted to we had this green. I should have got out of this. I should have just moved away from this. It was just consolidating so nicely here, and now it's broken that. So we have to be really careful. We need to reassess. Look at how beautiful that was. So it hopped below the way. It hasn't been below that on a long time. Way over here. So 1030, where it made a big move up, channel hopping. So this could be a much larger retracement, and that's why I got out and I didn't add or anything because it didn't look good. So we need to, and I'm not going to write it down. So let's get over to another stock for a few minutes here. Do it a bit before I have a lunch engagement. Getting some retracement all over the place here. So it hit that fib, man. Look at it hit that fib. Boy. This is NVIDIA. I like every stock to be green, as you know, but it is what it is. Let me get some short-term data set up here, Charlie. So we've got, there was a tweezer move with a hammer right there, and then it respected it a bunch. So that's pretty good on the 5-minute. I really don't have anything else on the 5-minute until we get way down here, which would be reassessing the whole thing. So we'll see how that looks on the 1-minute over here. We got time. We got time. Just calming down here. I just want to make sure I've got a good beat on this right here. All right, now let's look at this 15-minute and make sure I've got that nice and clear. Okay, so here we are. What do we got? There is a 1-minute resistance now. Not one we should really. So this one was marked on a tweezer move, right? So this one was, yeah, that's this 46 should be fairly highly respected if it gets there. Oh, so we're off the dollar amounts here too. So we're going to mess up the whole chart. But let's get this. I want the whole and half dollars marked here. So 336. We want this to be at. We're at 177 here. Once I set it for one stock, like I did for Tesla, then it screws it up for everything else on this chart because I'm on the same chart. That is the better thing to do. And I don't normally do. I did that for a while, then I forgot to do that, to adjust it on the Pro meter. I did it too tight. Maybe about right here. There we go. That's good news. Wow. Okay. I'm looking for resistance off that fib level. Got a failsafe at 78.30, which is the high. Wow, it's really a good spot to short. I'm gonna go ahead and short there if I get in. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I've got it still set at 200. I guess that's okay. We're looking for a rejection up here. I am trading at long bias, but I'm looking. Oh, I wanted to go for more money than that, but 10. That's only 5 cents on 200 shares. $10. So if it picks that up, we got $10. I got $10 out of that move. A little tentative about riding it short right now until I see if it's going to make new heights here. So much slower than Tesla to make money on, huh? But Tesla didn't. Let me mess with this a little bit here. Let's see if we can. I'm going to put Tesla down here so we can see if this is going to start to channel for us again, because I think we have a better opportunity here. So it did hit a bottom at 335 and then turned roughly around. So let's watch that for a minute while we're watching, while we're trading NVIDIA here. Always make sure this active trader is set for the chart you're watching if you ever attempt to do that. So it keeps hitting that fib and stopping dead. Now it's finally, so its high is at the 30-cent mark. Wow, there's so little movement here that it's almost impossible to trade this. It's just so, it's so slow in consolidation. So about to make a new high. And there's our new high. Boom. Boom. It's coming up. I see it rolling up. It didn't make it. There it goes. There you go. New high, 37. That was at least a 10-cent move. I'll try to get it there. Since it's making a move up, I'm just looking for a small retracement. We have to look at this like a totally different dollar amount. Even with the 200 shares, it's just not a lot not a lot of movement you want to do with this. I'm going to go back over to Tesla now that it's like it's retracing to see. Well, this is the 1 minute chart, so yeah, okay, I can see it right here. It's not really giving me enough. It needs to start to do some more moves here. Well, I'd love to see a retracement here. I would go long because I'm long biased. We're up to 178 now, getting near in the 180s where it should be. I would love AMD to come back and be in tandem with it like it was just a week ago. A lot of people would consider this to be a dip buy still on AMD, given the news. Goes back to the fib level. I might ride this long here. Let's see. Of course, it could really retrace here, so it's getting late. So I'm gonna have to come back for the next session for everybody. I know some of you guys just literally trade all day. I don't know how you do it on a 1 minute chart. My eyes go bug-eyed. Don't forget to have those yearly eye doctor checkups. Is it going to hit harder? Going to hit harder here? Nope. Wow, it really took that fib for support. Look at that, huh? We're above the market magnet, so I'd love to see that come up. But the volume, so, I mean, it's higher than Tesla volume, but it's still pretty low. Yeah, it made a new high. So it seems like it's stair-stepping up right now, like it's going to keep going. So I'm going to look for a dip. A dip that was down there at the 20 cents. It sounds like a pretty good dip now. There it goes, another new high. Slow new high. It had stopped for a while. It was really just grinding, and then now it's moving. $0.50 could definitely be a rejection for a bit. 178.50. Look for a rejection there just in case. I need it to pull back more than 10 cents off the high, I'll tell you that. Come on. Twice it's 10 cents off the high. 11 cents. Give me a bigger dip, guys. I'm going to go ahead and try to get in there, even though that's not a very good dip. So I've got it at 35 cents, waiting for it to punch back up. That's 39, 40, was all the way up at 49 cents a second ago. There's 4, there we go, that's enough, there we go, that was enough of a trade. Okay, so this is starting to consolidate over here, which is, let's see if it breaks that fib. Meanwhile, got a new high on NVIDIA. Again, will we ever get a pullback back here? Or is it just going to be all the way to 180 and beyond? If this hits this fib and stops, then no. See, this is why this is still dangerous here. So if it keeps going down, this would be a place to buy 35, 335. So I'm not ready to get over there yet. Man, this just keeps going higher and higher. You wonder, like, why don't we just stay in it on the way to 180? Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'm going to lower the share size on NVIDIA to 100, wait for a dip, and then hold it longer, you know, into a move down, and then average in if it goes down. So off the 50 cents or below, I'll get a bid. There's 51. There's 50. Let's see if we can get below that. Nope. Using the 50 cents as support now. I'm going to try to, I'll just get in at the 50 cents. Okay. So now I'm thinking that we need to hold this a little longer into a down move. If it goes down to the 18 cents, we could look for a turnaround to add back up to the 200 shares. That's a second red candle, which isn't good news for, is this where it's going to reject to 78.50? Got it right at the 50 cents, which I thought would be support, and now it's going to be possible resistance. Still, target is still above on the buyers. Let's give it a minute here. We've got lots of time. I lowered the share size just because I thought this could happen. We don't want to see it break this 18 though as it goes down. If it, that would be a spot where we'd want to just maybe cut our losses. Wasn't exactly a banner. I mean, it did a little bit of flat topping there, but it's not exactly a banner level, $178 would put it $50 down on the trade if it went down this low. I would buy market on the way up to average in. Wow, it's going to hurt us. Looking for the 178 as a turnaround. I'm going to go in at 178 either way if it hits it. I would put us at 178.25 position. Just not going to get there. I feel it's going to go back. I mean, I feel on my toe. I just think I'm very long biased on this still, so I wouldn't actually wait for it to turn back up, and I'm not going to get a chance because it's going to turn back up right now. Tempting to go in as it goes up here, but not enough of a price correction to take the chance. Now we're like stuck in this position here when I want to go over to Tesla. This is Tesla's did indeed stop at the 335 again. So this is really good, setting up real good trading for channels over here. So let's get this into a winning trade and then get out of this and get over there. Here it goes. $22. All right, we're going to go ahead and get in as it's moving up here. Now we're down to 35 cents, and we're waiting for. We had a reversal off of this, so it should get us up here. Let's see. Buyers are in control. Here, the risk oscillator still says sellers are in control, so. Come on, stop playing games. You can see this coming, and it's going to pull the magnet up, which should jumpstart this puppy up. There's our magnet down there. See how this price action's coming in? So that's a lot of people trading there. So watch the magnet pop up, and then watch this price go up. Here it comes. Get ready. Don't draw back. Pull that puppy up. Come on. There it goes. I didn't even see. I was looking down there. So that's it. So we should get a jump here in just a second. So let's just hold out. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Go, 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 go. Let's go. Come on. Look at all that stuff coming in. You want to go. There, the magnet's right where you are. Boom. Look at that. Look at that scalp meter pro say, go, go, go. You just got to break this It's a level here which should already be actually moving. I'm surprised that didn't pop up. It's just taking too long. It's going to go. It's just taking too long. Come on. I was averaging down to get out quicker just because, you know, I know it was going to go up, but I wasn't waiting for it to go way up. I just wanted to get a green trade. Had I hit the even dollar, we'd be a winning trade. Winning trade was at 25 cents if I got that at the even dollar, but because we had it at 50 cents to begin with, we only went down 15 cents in price point. Come on, don't momentum us down. Let's go. That magnet should be all you need to hit up here. We want to get up to the 50-cent mark. Oh my God, the clock is ticking away. We're almost to noon. Seriously, you don't want to do this. Where is all this stuff stopping? 09, I can't get to that position without it dropping way below it. Adding to full share size would only get me down to like 24. Come on, baby. Start jumping on. Everybody should be jumping in here, sending this up. There it goes. Let's see, what's our spread? Our spread's good enough where I can do market as it starts to hit up here. So I'm going to get out so we can get to Tesla if it, you know, without a big profit, if it gives a chance here. It's just too grindy here. I almost just want to take a loss because we could make more money over there, I think. This is just beautiful over here, just resting on that 35. Man, it's taking its sweet time to go back up. It's because of the time of day, really. This just volume almost just cut in half, too, as we get near the noon hour here. Everybody's jumping out. Everybody that was big traders are jumping out. Big share size people. Oh, come on. I had even money a couple of times there, but it's on the way up finally, so we'll wait it out a bit longer. Buy sell oscillator says you're not going to go up. That is based on the RSI. Finally, a decent move up here. We'll take that. All right, so let's get. I have a little bit of time to see Tesla here. Look at how it respected that level, huh? Nice. I do want to see the 15-minute here, so before I jump in, I'm just taking a second to get more set up here. Yeah, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. And look at how all the crossovers came in. All the indicators helped us here. You've got the MACD, you got the buy-sell oscillator. For the most part, they're all accurate too. So, well, not the risk oscillator isn't too accurate, but I always like the MACD is the white one. So they seem to be more accurate than the others. So there's our short situation. Let's get this down to 100 shares. No, oh, we are doing 200, right? Yeah, to try to get out of that quicker. Okay. Well, I have about 13 minutes max time here. So, or we can cut it off here. You guys, everybody's green. Lots of green up there. That's good. Let's see. Now it decides to slow way down. Anything near this 35, I will jump in on a long. It's actually been stopping at like the 08 area. Take it. Gets me 08 exactly. So now we hope it holds its level and doesn't break because I'm over here. Like it just did. Good. It was going up to like it was stopping around like the 72, so it's got we should wait a bit to at least get into the, maybe get this green and jump out, which was my original goal, was to try to get that green, just so I don't have red looking stocks. There it is. Well, I'm going to call that a day. Okay, well, for now anyway. All right. So everybody who, if there's any new people, go green. Thanks for joining me, and probably get ready for the next clip that's going to be part of this video. So let's just make sure we are on day. Auto send. Yes. And then I'm ready to get out quickly for a profit. So let's see what happens. "45 seconds. Okay. Suddenly had this fear that I forgot to turn on the sound. It is on. We are 25. Good luck, everybody, today. You can see it's already gone up overall in the 5 minute here since we've been watching. But let's see if it makes a big, and then I'll sell out ask really, really quickly if it just gets up to a decent trade, assuming it's going to retrace. I can get back in it again, but I want to profit some of it. I'll probably just take a trade and wait if I get a profit. So we have a market going. Has not picked me up yet. Look, it snapped right there at the high, right before my position, huh? So I'm glad about that. So, because it went right back down. Yeah, that was quite a bit up. I marked it quite a bit up there. And it didn't go, so it's making me want to get out of this position. Yeah, I'm just going to get out. All right, so it didn't work. It didn't do that quick. I mean, it did a climb, but I guess I was too greedy. I mean, I wanted to get higher than that. So now that was the move I was going for. If you understood it, I was going for something that was going to be, a real fast pickup. Doesn't say I have the rectangle here. Why is it not? I don't usually do this, so I'm opening up my 4 hour here for a second. There it goes. Okay, now I can use my... Now, do I want to trade this stock right now? No, I don't. So we're not going to trade this stock. What happened with NVIDIA when we did this? I might come back to Tesla. It was just an idea to try to catch a big move in the beginning there. Wow, so everybody still wants to go down today. Shows Apple and Tesla are two that are green from the close of yesterday, but not the open of today. Just looking at the... so remember, if you don't have your scanner... Now, I'm working on another scanner that I hope will be really, really helpful. But this one is showing you the volume. You can see not as many people are trading here, right? This is not even getting as many stocks as we normally do. Wow. Yeah, that's just because people aren't trading. Anyway, this shows 100,000 volume in a 1 minute candle. And then that's an average over 10 day. That's today. And then also it's coded in here to show you how far you are from the high. This is just showing you the lack of interest in trading because normally we have a couple more stocks. I don't know which ones are missing, but people are just like, retail traders particular, just like, no. There are some people that are probably buying the dip right now for swing trades, you know. But I would be careful if you're trading at this very moment. I would wait for a consolidation pattern of some sort, and then I would be skeptical. I would be worried still, and that's just because everybody's waiting for this news. It's just nothing to mark. Yeah, I gotta wait it out, guys. So I'll tell you a story from my early life. Growing up in the Bahamas, I used to dive blue holes. If you don't know what a blue hole is, some of you are like, seriously, dude, what are you telling us? Just mute if you don't want to hear. So a blue hole is, you'll see it in the ocean, off the coast of the islands. You'll see this round, dark blue hole that might go, a couple hundred yards, quarter of a mile across, pretty big. And a lot of them are off of Andros in the Bahamas, which is what they call the tongue of the oceans right there, where it suddenly goes down thousands and thousands of feet. I used to love to see all the photographs that this guy Greenberg used to take, and it would have the drop off. Right, you'd be on the banks outside the islands, and then it would just drop like somebody cut a knife. It would just go straight down, not just gradually down, but just like a knife, a cliff. Watch The Abyss. See what I mean there? It would just boom, and it just goes straight down. I'm waiting, just so you know, I'm not going to jump in this. Anyway, and then blue holes up at the surface, so you see this crystal clear kind of, light blue where you can see the sand or the coral below, and then suddenly it's dark blue, and there's this big circle. They look like a hole, like this big circle that's totally dark blue. It can be all placid one moment, just totally flat. And then when the tide comes in, it boils up, like bubbling up, like unrealistic, like what's going on, like a backup on a drain with air bubbles or something, right? Just boom, 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 boom. And then when the tide goes out, it's like a kitchen drain. It just starts to go, it goes straight down. And so strong can it be that it can literally suck very large boats right down. If you had your boat over the top of that hole, it would just go straight down. And most of them, nobody knows the depth of how deep they are, because they'll have ledges that come out or whatever. So if you try to drop a line, it's really hard. At least this is when I used to dive. Now they probably have equipment that tells easily. And why does it do that? Why does it bubble up and then go down like a kitchen drain? Because somewhere, thousands of feet down from where the surface is, there's a lot bigger hole or more holes, a series of holes, so that you can't keep up with the volume, right? So it just like a drain effect, right? So Now, would you think that diving in those is a smart thing to do? No, you wouldn't. But I did it along with other thrill seekers, and you would you would do it is you would I bought my own boat when I was a teenager, and I would lay the anchors out, and I would wrap the chain around coral heads, out away from the blue hole, and then feed the line out so that the boat was closer, the transom was closer to the hole. And then I always had the engines in gear, and there was always somebody on the boat. And then I would put the big lines down that would go, the lines that we dropped took up the whole cockpit of the boat because they were so big around and they would go down so deep. We would drop those first. The weight on the bottom of the line would just go straight down. And then you dive, right? And then you have that lifeline to grab onto if you somehow judged the tide wrong. The idea is that you have 20 minutes or more. Look at this go. If some of you who caught that, it seems like everything's starting to go up. But because of the conditions of that hole, the fish and because I was a spear fisherman, and I set a world record spearfishing when I was a young man. And everything was so dynamic and so amazing and so incredible that you couldn't get that without doing really deep sea dives. You wouldn't get the kind of fish that normally the kind of fish would be, 500, 1,000 feet down. And suddenly they're right there, 20 feet down, 30 feet down, 50 feet down, kind of inside caves and, that are in the rocks. And so it's so exciting. They used to call them Jewfish, but they're like massive grouper type fish that are their mouths are so big they could swallow you whole. That's how big they are. Big as a Volkswagen. Look it up. Don't trust me. Look it up. And you get a headshot on one of those. Can't really carry it to your boat, but anyway, anything you get. Back then I was a hunter. I'd kill anything that you could eat. I would go after and kill. And so it was very exciting, and I'm not into that that kind of thing quite as much anymore. Go to the grocery store, but yeah, that was very, very exciting life for me to do, and whatever I could, whether it be swimming with sharks on a regular basis because it was exciting, pushing them off you and using my Hawaiian sling, and believe me, I have so many stories, so many years of diving, getting in the water when the sun came up, just. It's what I do. And then until you get out and when the sun goes down, you're like a giant prune because you've been in the water all day. But, with doing that day after day after day, year after year after year, you have so many adventures with sharks and barracudas and moray eels, and where you have to cut their heads off because they won't let go of you. Moray eels will not let go of you. Always had a knife on your leg. I will stop there because I'll stop trading completely if I don't stop my stories. But yeah, there it was. I filled them some space, and now we're up to the 10 minute here. So let's see if we can get some consolidating levels on this stock that I might feel comfortable trading. I kind of been doing much better after 10:30 these days scalping, but it does seem it stopped at this fib. That's 3 times. It's making a flat top here. So we're at the 173.50 roughly. Let's see if it's going to break it. Yes, it is. I really would like to see it, come down and retest again. So it tested at the 73 even here. So that was a fantastic channel if it would have held it for a little longer. You could trade that long biased, of course. Seems like everything's going very long biased. Yeah, Tesla's going up now. So it did do that move. It just didn't do it on the first candle. So if we can get a retracement here, are people already, there must be news coming out from interviews and stuff that people are thinking that we're going to get good news because it's already starting to. Nothing like amazingly Geez, this just keeps going, guys. So I think I'm probably going to get into this move. As it breaks the 174, let me try to get a dip. If 174 doesn't turn it around, then I'm going to jump in this move. You know, I don't like to chase it, but it's going pretty slow here too. So it's not, so it's not a lot of danger here. So I'm going to wait for a dip. I got it there. So let's see if it keeps going up or if I have to bail out of this. So I got it exactly at 174. I'm going to hold it a little bit to see if it just keeps climbing. Probably going to get a pullback at that fib level, so I'll get out for a profit there if it gets me out. Nope, it's already starting to pull back, so that would have been nice if it picked me up there. Here it comes. Boom. All right, so now let's see if we can get a little bit of a pullback and then continue to ride it up, bank it as we go. Stopped at the fib. There we go. Try to get in there at the 15 cent. Didn't pick me up. So is it going to have to be a market day? Here we come. Wait for the next push up there, maybe to the $0.50. Try to ride it to the 50 cent and see if we can get up that high. That would be the next resistance that I would worry about, although it's stopping prior to that. It stopped right back where it did on that fib again, so I wonder if the fib's going to turn it around. I'm not going to write it down. If it does, I'm just going to get out for a small loss. Let's see. Yeah, I should have taken that trade for the double-digit number there. We need it to break the fib here, so the fib is the resistance. I'm just going to get out for it. Oh, wow, it really hit 1250 right as that's too bad. So I thought that was like a $6 loss. Instead, it was like a $15 loss. So 174 by the bid. Maybe. Let's see if it holds it. It's turning around. I'm going to get back in. So I got it at 08. I don't think it's done. So we're going to try to get back what we lost and then go on into the sky here. But this could be it. Oh, wow. It's definitely going down again now. That's too bad. We had a nice makings of a nice move there, but it's decided to turn around. In its brain, it decided. Sometimes I listen to my words, and I'm like, I often will antiquate to the candlesticks being alive. I want to do a candlestick comic strip. I used to own video stores, and we would put out newsletters with a chain, and we did a comic strip where the videos that were on the shelves were talking to each other back and forth, like the Godfather talking to Mary Poppins or whatever. It was pretty funny, And I thought that same type of thing would be funny if it was candlestick patterns talking, bulls and bears and flat tops, and they each had a personality, and I think it'd be a pretty funny comic strip. Only traders would get it, of course. Nobody else would get it. So it has broken that fib now. But even back then, people would get the comic strips. Everybody has something to say, right? Most people just loved it, and they loved the humor. And other people would say things like, you're denigrating the film. I'm just like, dude, stop taking life so seriously. Calm down. What the hell? The Godfather would never talk like that. Mary Poppins wouldn't hang around I'm just giving examples. That wasn't what happened. But just like that kind of stuff. Like you can't, oh man, I missed that. I thought it was going to dip back down to the fib. You just can't please everybody, though, right? Was my point. Whoa, huh? I'm going to buy that dip and hope it's not a complete. Was there news? Yeah, be careful here. I'm telling myself, be careful. Was there news? Is that going to keep flushing, or is that just a great entry off of that big rise? Getting ready to sell if we do another plunge because I don't want to. But it looks like it was just a short. Yeah, let's take that profit there if we can get it. There it is. So we're up to 50. This is just 100 shares, so it's pretty good. That was weird, huh? A bunch of people dumped. Must have hit a level. Over 50 cent, I guess, was the level. And there was a bunch of people. I didn't actually see it here, so it was something else that sent that down. That probably alternative routing that they just dumped in all at once. Algorithm, trading. So let's see if it's going to make a channel here. Just keep blowing through this. Yeah, the video stores I had was pretty cool because I also had restaurants back in the 80s, and long before DoorDash was around, man, you could call up the video store and get your video delivered along with a restaurant of your choice. I got a bunch of restaurants to sign up besides my own, and they'd be delivered with the video. Or if you just wanted the food because it got big enough, and check this out, we were open 24 hours a day. That's when I just had too much energy. But it was a huge success. And then the comic strips made the newspapers and stuff, which were pretty funny because they got pretty political too. So I didn't care back then about being attacked. I had a lot of energy. So we got picketed. Oh my God, we got picketed. We put out this movie. I'm against censorship, obviously, and I'm not going to go into my religious or spiritual views. But any movie that I would release, any movie. I mean, I'm not going to release a movie about, child murder or something. But I mean, any movie that was mainstream. And some people were against it. Then don't watch it. Don't watch it, right? So this movie way back when came out with Willem Dafoe. Wow, I did not see that coming. I'm going to get ready to short this. Wow. Is there news? There must be some news, huh, that I'm not picking up on. Let me just get a quick stuff on the chat over here in the Pro Lounge. A lot of option news coming out. Interesting. So the 75 stopped it, huh? 175. That kind of momentum. It's just a little scary about, a little risky to go short right there. Let's see if it keeps bouncing off that. I mean, it definitely channel hopped, so I need it to settle down before shorting it, and I need it to pull back before going long, before longing it. So let's see. See, we still have our same happy few. I'm glad you guys are all here. I hope you're doing well. We're managing to carve out a little bit of money in this weird day that you really shouldn't be trading. How far is that going to dip? 50 cent? Down to the 50 cent. I might. But get ready to get out quick in case it does a flush here, because it has been climbing straight up. And I'm just going to get in there. So I got in. I did mark it just so I'd get in, because the level 2 showed a bounce. So that was like 3 bounces in a row. And then, of course, it was waiting for me to get in so it could flush. Yeah, I might take a hit here and just get out. Let's see. I'm not going to add to my position. It's too close to it anyway, but it keeps punching down now instead of up each lower lows each time. There's a little swale that gives you faith. Get back up to the 75. The 75 seems to be making a resistance here, but it might break it like a real flat top there. It looked like it was really surging there for a second, and then it just pulled back. Somebody's looks like they're almost manipulating it here. I'm going to take a loss. I'm going to take a loss, guys. I don't like it. Yeah, I could have waited for the 50 cent. I just, I'm really tentative today about stuff, so about trading this. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. The definite entry would be the fib again for me. If it hits it, I'm glad I got out. It's resting on the 9 there. You can see the volume was higher as it goes down, so this is not a time you'd want to go long, according to the data anyway. Looks like it's getting a retrace. Whoa, is it going to keep going? Yeah, I think it is, so I'm going back in it. Got it at 62. Come on. You were showing such good signs. You're going to hurt me. I hit market because I just wanted to get in. And the spread's so tight. So this is it, right? It's like not going to let me make money today. It's going to be a weird price action day. I'm just going to get out. There goes my 50 bucks. Well, it really looked like it was going to retrace back up. So now I've lost complete confidence in which way it's going. So we're going to wait a minute. And I might switch stocks, but let's just see. So it went and it hit that channel, and then it hopped below that channel. So the fib didn't even stop it. And yet I wouldn't have played it short. So I think that's probably the best way I could have done it and kept a tiny bit green. I mean, and still get in the game, or just don't take the trade, which is what I advise. Don't take the trades today. And the only way to trade would be to scalp, but I'm not sure you want to trade at all. So let me look at Tesla's up $5 since the open. Nvidia's up $2 since the open. Apple is right there at the open within a few cents. Hood is down within a few cents. AMD is up $2. Palantir is right, just like they said, it's like even money. Most of these are just even money. There's a little bit of action, but they're not sustaining a move. You can see that was a pretty big pullback. So I'm not going to go into a long. I would have to see it get closer to where it was, break that level, maybe even the 50 cent before I think about it. I kind of don't like the way that it did that. I need to wait for a while now to give this confidence for this style of scalping. Let me go ahead and look at my fail-safe over here. I moved over to Tesla if you're not watching and just listening. Somebody had pointed out to me that I'm listening to you, and if you don't say out loud that you switch, don't count. I can't always look at your screen, and that makes sense. So I will try to mention. I thought I had been, but I will try to mention that I'm changing stocks. So I am on Tesla now, and I ended up with $3 out of all those trades that I just did a minute ago on Nvidia. And I'm actually feeling pretty good about that I'm not red. So let's see what Tesla's doing here. So I'll lower my share size to 50 shares. We are at the ATR high of the RV strategy. So, had I played that opening candle move for more than just the opening candle, I would be sitting pretty right now, but that's not what it was designed for. Yeah, let's see if this comes down and gets some support down here. So anyway, on the video store, this movie came out with Willem Dafoe called The Last Temptation of Christ. I didn't even know what the movie was about. That was the title, The Last Temptation of Christ. What the movie was about was like Christ just being a real person, not God's son, the religious, how was, I think anyway, it's been a while. I did watch the movie, but I think that's generally what it was about. And so at the time, we were ordering 50 copies of every movie. That's when movies were like 80 to $100 a piece. This is a while ago. And videos and everything, we'd get so many copies because you could rent every movie for $1 back then, and everybody else was charging $3 and $4. I had what you called a dollar card. You'd spend $100 for this card, and then every movie would be $1. But if you didn't bring it back right away, you might pay $3 late fees. Like you had to get it back in 24 hours, so the new releases would be. Anyway, it was all planned out. It was strategery, So this guy calls me up from the local church, and the minister there, a priest there, and he said, "Are you planning?" He knew my name and everything. It's just, "Are you planning to carry that movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I carry every movie unless it's I don't carry many X-rated titles. We do have an area that you can do X-rated, but no, I for the most part that wasn't our business, And he's like, "Because I would prefer you don't carry that movie." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't just not carry it because you personally don't want it, to be carried." And I said, "Have you watched the movie?" And he said, "No, I don't need to watch the movie." And I said, "Well, that in itself tells me that I can't take what you're saying. And apply any kind of action to it. I mean, you should watch the movie, get back to me, and tell me why you don't think we should carry it." He said, "No, I don't need to watch the movie. You should not carry that kind of material in your video store." And then he just got right into the threats. The conversation ended. So that Vip turned it around there. I want a little bit more. I am watching, guys. And I was just like, "Well, I'm sorry, but if every time somebody called and, every time somebody doesn't like a movie and he's, well, I represent the congregation, blah, blah, you know who I am, blah, blah." And I said, "No, I do, but you're going outside of your, what I would respect you for right now." Wow. Look at that go, huh? I definitely missed that. I did not see that coming. So I would be, okay. Let me just switch to Tesla up here. I'm going away from watching it for a minute, guys, because I want to understand why that just happened. Nothing on the wires. It's just a typical, you can't trust Tesla to go short, so be careful. What was that? That was a $6 climb in less than a minute. $6, guys. So we're getting to the high of the 8. We broke that ATR. Man, I would have loved to. Of course, I would have got out for a profit right away. I wouldn't have rode it to the top. Look at that move. Somebody say something that hasn't hit the news yet? Jesus. Look at it go. Hitting the high of the ATR right there. I'm not going to chase it. So I haven't taken a trade on Tesla yet because it seemed like it was going to give us some consolidation, and then it just blew through everything. And that could go down just as fast. That's the problem, right? Again, it's like we shouldn't even be trading today. But, I mean, if anything, you know, NIO here is telling you it's going to be real competition against Tesla. If anything, that's bad news. There must be some report that came out that, or a target range that was set. Well, it's going to break the ATR high. Went up another $2 since the rise here. So I'm glad I didn't short it. I'm going to really look at this flow to see if it's starting to slow down, if I can do a long bias on a dip. 47, 34, 30, 20, 23. Wow, that was $1 rise on that level 2 in a split second there. That was like some crazy stuff happening there. I'd have to go and mark it. It won't even pick me up, and then it could flush like really fast. Still thinking about it, guys. I don't know. I'd love it to just stop and then start trading it. That would be a wiser play. Dip down. Is it going to dip at all? It's not dipping at all. It's just for some reason deciding that it's going to go way up. I would love to know why this is happening before I trade it, but it's wearing me out to get into it. Is it going to break the 34? Yeah, it looks like it. I'm going to go ahead and get in. And I got it at 81 and it dropped to 30. See, this is the problem. It dropped down to the even dollar in a split second. So it's only $50 per dollar, but you know, no. Why did it turn around? Well, the reason the indicators didn't pick up that it turned around, that's because I took a trade. The professor's going in. That's at resistance. Doesn't it feel like that when you take trades sometimes? And I even went in market with a big spread. It's like that was a FOMO trade, but you know, I'm still believing that it's going to be okay. So let's see, not done going up yet. That is unfortunately a reversal pattern. Buyers have dropped off the volume. So is it really done here? People that were going long are like, please don't take a trade. You're going to turn it around. Don't do it. I would sell out more than add to, honestly, guys. It could be the beginning of this big retracement here. So how bad do I let this get? Pretty much not much worse. Yeah, I'm just going to get out. So that was a $52 loss. Because I chased a stock with no reason that it ever went up in the first place. And I didn't hold it long enough for it to recover, if it's going to recover, because of this fear that it's just going to break down. And here it goes. No data to take that trade. Just a FOMO trade. Ride it high, go. Then you say, well, why didn't you just get in here? Then it would have been smart. Well, because we didn't know that was going to happen. Come on. Nothing told us that was going to happen. Then, of course, the people that made a really good trade, well, I knew. I don't know why you just didn't trade it like me. Now, had I held, I'm back, almost back. 81 would have been even money. So it is getting support down here, which is interesting. You know, hit my position for even money. I'll buy the dip back down at the 50 cents if it gets down there again. It's not going to get down there again. I'm going to wait this time, though, because I want to dip. Yeah, it needs, yeah, it's just going back up now. There it goes. So it would have been a profitable trade just 1 minute later. Or it could have gone, you know, so. Yeah, guys, I didn't have a way to call that, or I would have called it. Look at the target here on the risk oscillator. You know, 4 times as much long rather than short. This pattern is going to excite people to go in long again here. So let me, yeah, that would have been a dip to get there. Nope. Not going to do it. You're not going to get me twice. I need it to be lower to do it. $68. There it goes. What did that get me at? $56. At least that's a bit better, you know, to try to make this move. Please hold it at the ATR. It broke the ATR. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. So I will hold this longer this time. Let's see, the fib is at 79. And there's another fib at 37. Target up is way higher than the target down, 50 cents down. So I'm right at position there. I was just looking. Let's see if we can get green on this trade. Almost. There. Now I have $3 on 2 stocks. And of course it keeps going. I kind of expected a rejection. That's why I got out. So you can't expect anything. So I'm going to wait a minute. See if we can catch a dip of some sort. We're already at 10 o'clock, yeah. So it's been really, really hard to trade this 10:08 already. So anyway, what happened with that story was when he started to threaten me, that doesn't go well with me. So I said, do your worst. I am not going to, and he couldn't believe it, that I wouldn't do what he wanted, you know. And apparently he'd already told everybody that I was he'll make sure that movie doesn't get put out. A movie that he's never seen, that he's judging with never watching it. That's what really got me, right? So he arranged this picketing. He picketed my video store, the one that I had in that area, and he picketed it. And it was just like, seriously, you know? Oh my God, did the business boom. They did an article about the censorship and that this video store owner would not, you know, kowtow to the church, and, you know, and I'm not an anti-religious guy, you know, but it was just like, you can't do that. You know, you have to have if it's a good cause, you're going to get me behind you, you know, but that was ridiculous. And it wasn't about the money. It was about being told that you can't do this or else, right away, or else was in the first phone call, you know, when I thought we were having an open conversation, and it was like, or else we will destroy you. Oh my God, my business like tripled because of that. So thank you. Yeah, because everybody, you know, was on my side too. Like, you can't tell a business owner that they can't do things just because you don't like it, you know, whatever that might be, you know. And certainly whatever you're defending should be strong enough, you know, for people to make their own decision about the content of it. You know, it shouldn't destroy their faith, you know. It's just a point of view. So it's just, I'm going to let it go there, guys. But I was way more articulate at the time. I was interviewed and everything about it all. It was a big deal. It's like 40 years ago. That's how old I am. I don't know, you can look up when that movie was released, but it was a long time ago. And because of that, the 50 copies weren't enough. It's just like we had to order 100 copies of that movie. So that didn't work well. The picketing lasted about a week, and every day we got more and more people to buy the, you know, in our support, not to hit the picket line. I went out and talked to the people that were picketing, and you know, to say I respected, you know, their choice, their free choice to do this. You know, I respect that you're exercising your rights, you know, to do this, and I don't, you know, I'm not going to ask you to leave. You know, it's totally legal to do what you're doing, and I support you. And I made a big point of saying that, like, I'm not going to be like what you're trying to do. I'm not going to be that person, you know. And I can't let it go. As it turns out, not a single person that was in the picket line day after day had ever watched the movie. That was the first question asked. Not a single person. Doesn't it make you want to watch the movie? I mean, you know, when the newspapers started printing that, everybody wanted to watch the movie. It's like, well, what the heck's up with this movie? It's really not a very good movie. I mean, it's okay. I like Willem Dafoe, but it got a lot more traction because of people fighting against it. Narrow, very narrow points of view about their faith not being able to handle stuff like that. It's like, come on, man. Okay, we did create kind of a channel here. Kind of a support and resistance here. Let's see if it's going to break. So it stopped at the, no, that's not the ATR high. That's the high. Here's the ATR high. So it stopped right in this area. Yeah, with 335. Tweezer moved down here. Again, I would not think these are too strong of a support, but you might get me to go long down here looking at the price action. But I'm worried about going short, yeah, and that's why. I'd rather be long biased on this move still. So let's see if we can get like some kind of money today, but just not being red would be good. Till after the news. After the news. We need to wait till later day trading here. Oh, okay. So finally a story came out. Sell more Cybertrucks. So there's news about Powell up here. Okay, so he's already got news out here. That's right, because it's later out there, of course. What a bunch of rigmarole. He's not saying. I kind of would read that positively, but yeah, so the market's reading what he said as a positive. So everything's going up. Wow. Okay. So that's what's happening. So he's reasoning that. He's got a, yeah, Nvidia's taken off too. All right, so I'm going to buy the dip here, and this has news on the Cybertruck. So I think this is going to keep going up. So let's get in this. This is the one I'm watching, so I'm going to go ahead and so that news just came out. That was 10:05, 10:06. Yeah, okay, so that's what's happening. I don't have anything on except just the wire here. Tried to get in at the even dollar there. See if it picks me up. Here I am. There it goes. All right, so let's ride this a little longer to try to do a move here. Hopefully it hasn't already, because we're getting near its higher, so high, so it is a little risky chasing this. But on the general overall news, I think we're going to get a move here. So I'm going to hold this longer than a normal two-digit scalp and hope I don't regret it. So I'm 71 cents up. See, this is great about the risk oscillator. So there's where it's saying I should stop at 82. I'll go ahead and try to do that at, yeah, so I got it at 69 cents up. and then look for a dip. Oh, no. I got out too soon for sure. Well, I was just trying to bank it, get back in at the even 37 there. So now I'm in at the 37. A whole another $1 from the last place I held. So I almost made as much as I could have made on that and got right back in it again. Makes me want to increase the share size, honestly, guys. I'm going to try to just bank that. Okay. Let me see if I can get a dip down here. Yeah, there's a dip. It picked me up. So now it got me below the 37. I might hold this, guys, into the dip and then look for a turnaround to add share size. 61, that's 30 cents down. It's to 46 cents, it's saying. You got to expect a little bit of retracement as they go up. It's not a panic thing yet. So we are trading on a catalyst right now, and people seem to have taken his statements as good news. Mostly just that he said something, and we don't have to wonder what's about to be said. That could be a lot of why the market's reacting sort of positively here. Watching the level 2 closely to see if I should add. Almost got me there. We're near the high. That's why it was a risky to get in here. Now I'm red. Is that fib going to give it support? I want to see it back to the 36. Five minutes still green. 15 minutes still green. We're short money still right now for a loss. It's just that we were green, so it's a little painful. Oh boy. Is it going to break the 35 too? Man, it did. So this one trade's almost $100 down, $2 down. There it goes. I don't know how much longer I want to hang on to this. This is why you don't trade today. Are things cooling off based on the news? Or is this about to flip around again? Break the 35, maybe 35 and a quarter, and I will, yeah, there it goes. I'm going to go ahead and add to that position as it goes up in hopes that that was it, and it's going to make a big move here because it looked like it was moving up there, and that's why I went ahead and went into 100 shares. But I have to be careful here because it could just flush. So I'm into half my position size now as it turned around. I don't like that the risk oscillator is turning it around there, but let's see if we can break that fib. So I'm at $36 now instead of $37. So I dropped $1 on that move as far as my price point. But I have a much larger risk if it keeps fading. So yeah, so that's the problem. Yeah, I'm not going to go down more than $100 for the day. That's it. I'm going to get out. Okay, so that was the time where adding didn't help. It hurt. So there you go. I'm going to have to work my way back up if I can later this afternoon. I don't know if you guys did any better. It was a risky way to trade for sure. I pronounced my logic. And yeah, and I was very worried about this, and it went ahead and did it on me. So this had a tweezer move when it went up. I mean, why is this suddenly going down again? the logic might have been you need to hold that into a $5 retracement or don't get in, rather than a $2 shake you out. That's equivalent to $2 starting at my 50 share size, So when I add it up, you have to look at it like I kind of thought, like I don't want to go more than a $2. And the magnet just pulled up with price action up here, so there is some sign this is going to turn around, but not strong enough yet. Look at the pro indicator. Like, wow. Okay, so I don't know if I really want to trade anymore. I want to wait and assess the data. So everything turned around at the same time. It's like they got what they thought was good news, and now probably a bunch of pundits are saying it's not really good news, and then people are reacting all emotionally again. Or there was no news, so why is the market going up? It's just so emotional depending on who says what at any given moment. That's why scalping is good. You just want to be able to get your max loss and get in and out. And so right now, it's non-tradable. It's non-scalpable because it's not holding any kind of a range right now. So we need to wait. It's the prudent thing to do would be to wait. I'm reading some news over here about TikTok. Came out about Amazon. Trump said something about TikTok. Not quite sure why it came up on an Amazon feed, but well, right now, it's not bad. I think I'm down $99, total today. So, that can be, I can recover that in like 3 minutes, 2 minutes trading just this way, but I need something to latch onto here, which we do not have. We do not have a consolidating pattern. Let me see. What about Hood? Is Hood's a couple bucks up? Everybody started retracing at the same time. Almost like something came out. And I'm not watching the news at the same time. But let me see what this looks like to trade here. If we have channels here, no. See, it has to stop, right, and start to retrace, and then show us some consolidation that we can work with. When it's unless you're willing to make that big of a channel move, like if this is the bottom, and this is the top 110, and then the bottom's down here at 107.50, 250 channel. Is it going to start to do that through time? We have to kind of watch. It's just when you make that big of a channel hop after it's been, God, it's actually almost the same size up as it went down, huh? It started to go up here at 107. Went up $3.33. Hit a bottom here. Just looking at Hood for a minute here. Yeah, so Hood I can go 200 shares with the PDT logic of how many you could fit. That's 1/4 size. I can go up to 800 shares as a stock and follow the day trading plan I have. I am really just looking for a trade. Just to go green is kind of not a smart move. I'm trying to force something here. This isn't anything. Let's see if it rejects off that fib and starts to make a tighter channel. That would be safer. Or if it's just going to keep going. Yeah. Was that our pullback and everybody's all excited again? We look at how the other ones are moving. Yeah, Nvidia's going up. Swaling up like 8 to 10 cents per, less than 10 seconds. Here we go. Now this could be making a big, huge bear flag, so we got to be careful here. This is a sign of this. No, This is the bear flag. This could be making a bull flag. So let's see what happens here. Is this a pullback, or is this like a real pullback? Or is this just a dip? We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. 200 shares. Is it going to hurt me? Oh, come on. Definitely forced to trade there, and I'm paying for it. I held it down to here. That's a big flush. Yeah, it's almost $200. Okay, well, what's what I'm going to do? I would add, if it breaks up, if it shows me enough breaking up here, I will add. And it is not. It is killing me. Oh my God, guys, come on. Now I've got to dig out of a bigger hole. Wasn't a good spot to take a trade. Maybe it will stop there and turn around. I got it off this dip here, thinking that that was going to be a push back up. Okay, we went to 400 based on the way it was moving, so big risk, big risk. Turn around. We're showing signs of a recovery. Now it's not. So now we're getting hurt. 400 shares. Rolling the wheel. Not going to go to 800 shares. Waiting for a recovery. It keeps flowing up, so it's highly likely it will recover here. Hit 80 cents for the first time, 82 on the ask. It's something's pounding it there. Come on. Next green candle will shoot it up, I think. We got 45 seconds of pain before that happens, so 85. There we go. There we go. I'll take that. $38. Yeah, I didn't want to wait for more of a move up, guys. Because I didn't know if it was going to do it for sure, so buying a dip down here would be good now. There, is it going to keep going up? So it broke because we were right at the even dollar there when I got out, which could have been resistance, but it wasn't. So just wanted to take some money. I can't remember how negative I am. What was NVIDIA? No, it wasn't NVIDIA. It was Tesla. Yeah, so I'm still 68 bucks down or something. It's not how I would normally get back green again. Would not be trading hood, but we'll look at it again for something. Again, I shouldn't even be trading. I keep saying that. Like, what are you doing? I know they're not doing the RV strategy today, so I'm not doing the RV strategy. That means so I can stay with you guys a little longer here. Hopefully most of you just held off. So shorting off the let's make sure we don't have any more news here. Yeah, this is just all massive option news, options reporting here. Options Friday. Yeah, looking to short up here, guys. Let's see if it gives us enough. So anywhere close to the 109, I would probably get a short on. Stopping at the 50 cents. It hit all the way to 110 up here. Yeah, okay, so I got to be careful. I was looking at very short term. Tweezer moved down here at 108.50. It just did it again. Pulled down. I already could have made a trade there, you know. Short trade. Oh, magnet's going to pull up. This is going to push it up like a springboard here. So this is going to go higher. So we'll look for, there it goes now. Look for the 109 maybe. Boom. There it goes. A little bump. Gave it a little support right below it. The magnet. Get that indicator if you don't have it. Market magnet is kind of right most of the time for at least short-term moves. That was like a 10 cents you could have got immediately there. Oh, I was just thinking I'm not getting enough drawback to get in on a short, but it just gave it to me there. It's giving me enough to get in and out quickly on short moves if I go to play it short and then just get out fast on the short move down. Buy-sell oscillator and the magnet are both there to help turn that around. You've got all your moving averages right below it as well. It's just stalled at the 50-cent level. It's kind of making its own little breakout at the 50-cent level here. It keeps pounding. I would short up near this fib. 109 would be better, but now the buy-sell oscillator says go down. The risk oscillator says go up. We have conflicting reports. There it comes up to the it hit the 80 cents. Yeah, that's at 80 cents, 82 cents it hit. Let's see if we can get it to 109 or just off the 109. Break the fib and get me right up here. You've got the ATR up there as your fail safe, which is 109.30. Wow, 109.34. See, it faded off the top of that fib pretty fast. Already a trade there. Could have happened. You have to keep in mind that whatever you get, you plan, if you're shorting it, plan on it going all the way to 110.50. That's the size of that move against you. That's where it was. 110.41 was the high. Or 110.41, not 110.41. But really hitting that fib, huh? So people are looking at it like that's the level. There it was. I'm going to try it. All right, so it picked me up. I already could have got it. Tried to get it on a swale there. It's moving fast. It's moving against me. It should have picked me up. There we go. That was a I'm glad it picked me up because there it goes. It's like, no. So 109.34 is the ATR RV level. Yeah, so it's almost better to go long off these levels, huh? It's the long bias. It seems like it wants to retrace up. Let me see if I can get a dip down here below 109 of any sort of move here. Maybe could have got it, but boy. It's buyers all the way here, guys. Buyers strong for sure. Looking for a little bit bigger of a dip though. We're swaling between 7 and 12 cents. The spread's 3-4 cents. Oh, missed it. It's not coming back down to the 19 anymore. 109, I mean. It may bang off that ATR and just flush. That is the ATR RV level, which is usually highly respected. So watch out. Hit it, came way down. Okay, I tried to grab it at the 06. Thinking it's not going to be a big flush. Won't pick me up. See, it was right there. I'm canceling that order because I'm losing track of the level 2. So it definitely hit it hard and did a rickshaw man here. Remember, candlestick pattern playbook, guys. That's the only one that rates the accuracy of these patterns. I have a link to that book. I highly recommend you learning this patterns. Yeah, so it's flushing off that ATR, which is what you should expect, you know. Now, maybe we'll get a channel here. Wouldn't it be nice if it gave us a channel off this fib in the ATR? That would be wonderful. But that could be the end of its flush there. Let's see. I really want this candle to form before I go in, so because that's a reversal sign. So let's see what happens here, if it's going to really reverse. Three seconds. That's going to close red. But it stayed green here on the. It's still not past the 5-minute mark here. That was an 8-cent spread. If I hit market there, that would have been terrible. We got to bide our time, guys. This is not. I'm not feeling confident about just going in here. It's very wishy-washy here. Get down to that other fib level. All right, I'm going to go in, see if it picks me up at 95. That was already a 15-cent trade. $30. Didn't pick me up. It's so consolidating that it's giving us opportunities. There we go. I finally got in it. Just as it broke lower. 98 isn't exactly a fantastic position for this move. You gonna hold that level? I don't believe it. It's not gonna hold the fib, so. Broke the 9. I'm gonna wait a minute. This just shouldn't trade today. It's just not readable at price action. That's the 14. You don't want to add to anything that's this tight. It is resting on that 87 fib line. Still wants. Oh, it's starting to make a 5-minute bull flag, but it's not. Yeah, that kind of ruined it with the flag, but. Buy sell oscillator just flipped it like no. There we go. Almost got back what I lost. Let's see if it rejects off that ATR again. That was at 34, 30, 32. It definitely did not reject. So remember, we got it 110.41 high, so about a buck off where it's right now. Hitting that 50 cent, and then came back to the ATR. So it's moving 20 cents on the swale here. Look for a dip. If we can get a dip back down to the 109 or below, that would be where I would enter based on this price action. I would wait for there. There was 109.10. I might go in higher. 109.10 it keeps hitting and then going up 12 to 15 cents. There's 15, 13, 11. Oh, boy, that was good. Did I get that? Oh, I tried to get it at 95. Come on. Oh, I really want that position. All right, I'm canceling so I can take a better. I would have got the money already. Oh, so bad. That's why you wonder about market, but it's such a big spread that that was only 3 cents there. But too bad, huh? I tried to get that. That would have been a good trade. Maybe some of you caught that. When it dropped below 109, I'm like, that's coming right back. I might hit market next time just to get in if it goes down there again. It's a big chance where your position might end up. It's swailing like 15 to 25 cents, so it's giving lots of opportunities for profit here. This is what you're going to get if you hit market. Remember, that's what you'll get. You can see why people respect the ATR so much, because it always stops, consolidates, and then decides if it's going to keep going up or break back down, or whatever way it was, if you were going up or down and when you hit the ATR. So it broke to 50 cents now. So now if we get a pullback down here, it'd be a really good trade to get in, because it looks like it's trying to get past its 110. Let me just look at everything. Yeah, everything's still going up. You can see the overall market here. And that's the market pulse. This one, every time increment on this stock is green. Broke volume on the Pro as it was going up. You can't get anything else. You can't get much stronger than what this is saying. I like the fact that the target's so tight here for playing retracements. It's within 3 cents of each other. So, but I want a pullback. I'm not going to chase it without a bigger pullback. This is where the patience comes in that I don't exhibit all the time. The fact that this stuff's even become tradable is, I would call this tradable for sure. This is fairly predictable. So let's hope it stays that way. That's right at the ATR, guys. Bam. Thought about it. Would have been a 20, 30 cent trade right there. It's going to hit it again. I might just go and market at the ATR if it hits it again. That's a great level to have to trade off of. Oh, that was its last touch to that for a while, I bet. Breaking into these channels, and let me just get some of this. So this was a tweezer move right here on the 5-minute. Right there, that's where it's staying. So you got a hangman right here, which is a reversal sign on the 1-minute. But you, for the most part, made a bull flag on the 5-minute, other than that little hiccup in the middle, which are 82% accurate for the length of the pole. So if everybody thinks of this as a bull flag, then you have almost a $6 move from the base of the flag. So 108 up to 114. I don't think so. Suffice it to say that it's moving up anyway. Wow. So we're getting little retracements, but not much. Man, it's just going up. The whole market is just there. It broke the 110. Maybe some of you are riding this. Didn't make it to the top of the volume. It is just nothing but net, so to speak. It's just straight up. Yeah, NVIDIA now is 177 and climbing. AMD 168 and climbing. Tried to pick it up at 180, well, 109.80. Didn't get me. Can you give me a bigger retracement of any kind of thing? 110 is now support. All right, I'm going to try to get in there at, not try to get, I'm going to get in there and see how bad my position was, which wasn't that bad. I'm green for the day at least. This one's okay to ride right now until it might just flush though, guys. Just be careful. Just get out quick, you know, if it starts to go move more than 50 cents. You're getting 18 to 20 cent moves, so if something goes 50 cents, then, you know, if it suddenly goes 50 cents, watch out. That would be my advice. So here's our next fib up at the 41, which is also its high. Doesn't have a high sticker there, but that's where it was. This is the high right here. So that's at 110.33. That's what this is signifying, the high. Market magnet picks that up. Give me a flush below 110. Give me some kind of a retracement, and then I'll go long. Just not. We're just chasing this thing. There's a new high. Man. 41 going to turn it around. I mean, it's getting near its highs, you know, that it doesn't, it's been for a long time, so it's a little risky. All right, let's take a look at this for a second, guys. I got to get a better look at this. So is this 30 days back? Let's go like 90 days back. Yeah. So we are at its highs. So this is it. We are at its high. We are in the stratosphere here. So it's making new levels. Kathy Wood has just dumped 1.6 million into Robinhood stock. That's probably the news. I thought it said it dumped the stock. No, dumps in. Okay, wait. Kathy Wood dumps 1.6 million in Robinhood stock. Yeah, okay. It's a weird way to say that. Like, I'm looking for a dip here. Come on, we're right at the high, so going long is a little risky. I'm going to go ahead and go in there. I got it at 110, 110.10. Just made a little progress there. Just keeping it tight. Boy. Is that the pullback? That was it, down to 110. I got it right at its low there, 110.10. Well, it just I'll keep looking for the retracement. And it's 200 shares, so it can, if it flushes $1, you know, ouch. Ouch. Well, I've gotten more fun out of this day than I thought I would. Boy, everything is green. So obviously the market is replying to the, and maybe I can get out of my darn swing trade on AMD. It's got a little ways to go, but it might take a few days. Well, I've got to hold it over today's Friday, so who knows what may befall us over the weekend. Hope you guys are doing good. It seems like we have the same general number here. I don't know what the rollout is, but I am staying on longer than I usually do. So hopefully you're gaining advantage and not disadvantage from that. on a day I said I wouldn't trade. But I am getting ready to break. And even though we're not doing the RV strategies, this is when that would be ending, and I would be doing my second workout. I want to say like The Hobbit, my second workoutsies, my third lunchies. Here we go. We're getting a bit of a retracement here off the most recent high. Not much of a retracement. It hit the fib. Should have grabbed it at the fib, huh? It is just going up. It is not. It's doing these little retracements. So that range on that candle was 30 cents. This one was 35 cents. And then that range going up was 51. And you can see we have a 7-cent difference in the target. And this fib is suddenly, wherever these are, guys, it's always some sort of action that you trade around, wherever these fib levels are. Those on the even and half dollars. There's our high, 63. It looks like it's about to break it again. Can we get a dip? Nope. It's going to make a new high. Here it goes. Boom, 66. Definitely chasing something here. The only way to get in this is market if you want to try to chase it. Looking for a dip. Back down to the 50 cent now is where I'm looking. Back down to the 50 cent now. It's not going to give it to me. It's just like a rocket. It's just going straight up. Maybe I'll look into the low 60 cents. 60 cents? We got a 4-cent spread, 5-cent spread. Stalling at 70. I'll take that. What did I get? That's at 71. That was terrible. I mean, as far as where I wanted to get it, it was terrible. And it's already punishing me. It's like, why didn't you wait? All right. So I'm going to hold this for a bit. We've got a cushion. Let's try to make a bigger trade out of this. All right, so I'm going to take that because I'm going to look for a dip off the even dollar of 111, and perhaps I shouldn't have, but it's just, this is out of control, huh? It's making new heights here. Is that all on the Cathy Wood? I mean, 1.6 million isn't really that much. I mean, geez, I guess. New high. Can we get a pullback to the even dollar? 111 by chance? Nope. Kind of wish I would have stayed in it, obviously. But the cushion is higher to ride the move up. I'm going to take it at the 36 cents. I didn't think that was our pullback candle, but perhaps it is. Sooner or later, they're going to say, we're done with this business. So if it breaks 111, I'm going to get out for a loss. And it's almost there. Recovery coming this way. To 37. No, it's not worth add. It's not worth adding to. I just was thinking about it as it swales up to add, but yeah, okay. That's too bad. We were almost to 200 and it hit me. Yeah, I set a loss and now it turns around because that's how we roll. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. I mean, for a break anyway, and then come back and see if we've got some real consolidation on. I might look at Tesla first to try to make some bigger money than this. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing good on this Friday. Have a good weekend. I'll probably put out some different videos to look for. and then I'll do a replay / recap of what's been going on today, just to let you know what happened for the rest of the day. All right, so thanks for watching, and keep it green out there, guys. Go green, and I'll see you soon.